Hi, welcome in to Mr. and Mrs. Sports Talk. I'm Malia.
I'm Tom. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button should you like what you see.
Yes. Well, let's start off with Oklahoma City.
I know, right? Big news
The
in the
Thunder.
NBA world.
Yep.
Right? Finally, the season's come to an end. Some good news, some bad news, right? It was a great series.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
OKC's first
since they moved to Oklahoma City from Seattle, former Supersonics.
I had no idea.
Right? So when they drafted Kevin Durant, he was a Seattle Supersonic, and then they moved the franchise to Oklahoma City, and they got Russ and Harden and Ibaka, and yeah, so they're OKC as we know them now.
That's awesome.
I know.
They won 103-91 against the Indiana
Pacers, right?
Pacers.
And Shea Gill, SGA, right, pulled off an incredible feat this year, winning the MVP, Finals MVP, and scoring title for the year.
Yep.
Only been done how many times?
4 times.
4 players, I guess.
4 players, and the fourth. He's the fourth.
He's the fourth.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
legend.
Michael Jordan, of course,
GOAT potential,
and
right?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, another legend, right? Puts his name amongst those guys now. Done something that hardly anybody's done. Yeah, awesome season for them. Finished, number 1 seed in the West, and then rode that out. Had went through some pretty good teams in order to get there. Now for the sad news.
I know.
Halliburton, right? We all saw him
ouch,
play it out with a calf strain. Calf strain seemed to be kind of a prerequisite for a potential Achilles tear.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Happened to Tatum.
Yep.
And Damian Lillard, same thing, right? 3 guys alone just in this playoff series, these playoffs this year.
And he went down. He went down the first quarter.
Yeah,
it was sad, but
they were holding their own.
Yeah,
right.
They were. I was surprised. I thought they were just gonna lay down, but they fought. They really fought.
Well, there's been some talk about, or at least listening to the reactions of everybody. It seems like they want to propose doing a best of 5 game series for the wild card series instead of a best of 7. They think maybe that they're playing too many games, and everybody loves to kind of dog this generation of basketball players, but they're actually covering more of the floor defensively, and defensive energy. It takes more energy to play defense than it does offense. So you're really kind of exerting yourself on both ends of the floor, playing good defense, and so by covering more of the floor, you're getting more wear and tear on the bodies, and they thinking that maybe they're playing too many games in the playoffs, especially because it gets so much rougher in the playoffs, right? They let them play through anything.
And I think there was one time, it was the Denver series. I forgot who they were playing. Shoot, I don't remember, but I remember Murray on Denver. It was like, we need more time. We just can't. They were playing one. They only had 1 day off.
Yeah,
they're like day. That, and they were playing every other day. And he was like, I need more than just 1 day. And I was like, that does seem like
especially because the first series they get 2 days rest, and then after that it's every other day they're playing until the championship. So grueling matches, and a lot more wear and tear, because it seems the same teams are going to the playoffs, so the same teams are playing a lot more extended games. So I think that's something to watch out for. I think that's not a bad idea. Somebody mentioned that it took 10 weeks to finish the playoffs.
Oh my God.
That's just insane. So if they cut a few games out of the first series, they could probably get that down to 8 weeks, 2 months.
Because it's 7-game series all the time.
So I think
baseball doesn't even do that.
Right.
Jesus.
So maybe
that's a lot.
Maybe they can take page out of their book.
Yeah, there's a lot of firsts. I mean, they're the young Thunder's like the youngest team. And there was a rumor, or not a rumor, but it was said that they didn't even know how to open the champagne bottles.
Too young to even know how to drink. Really,
I was laughing. I was like, "Oh my God!" I think Alex Caruso was like the oldest and the most experienced, and he was showing them how to open them up and shake them, and
Yeah.
I in the locker room after they won, I was just like, oh my god, that is so funny.
That's how
They
young they
cracked
are.
me up. They're young. Didn't realize.
It's funny though that you would think they'd be around for a while.
Yeah.
And it seems like every year when somebody wins the title, you think,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they'll be back again.
Oh yeah,
next
they're going to
year.
be a dynasty.
Right.
Like that dynasty talk now. It's like,
Yep.
well, I don't know.
Inevitably, something happens, right? Boston, Denver.
Yep.
So it just seems like eventually something happens.
Yeah. Isn't there was like 7 different teams
Yeah.
have won
Yeah.
the
Last
champion?
7 years.
Yeah,
in a
last
row,
7
right?
years. Someone different is not back to back. But
I think for 20 years, probably.
Oh
I
my
can't remember the
God.
last time we had a back-to-back winner.
Lakers. Just kidding.
Right? Yeah. Lakers,
Me.
right? And 02, 01, 02,
Something
somewhere
like
around
that. I
there.
have no.
But
But
again,
it's
just
been a while
just-
since we've seen back to back.
casually trying to remember some of the stuff. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So good for them. Good for
Yay.
them. It was
Congrats.
yeah, congratulations, OKC, right?
Yep.
See what happens next year.
We'll see.
But it didn't take the NBA world very long to make some noise and grab some headlines and still stay relevant, right? We got a big move already.
Kevin Durant going to the Houston Rockets. Crazy.
Yeah, it is. That's a huge move. Kind of, for Houston, it's going to be great. They need some offense, shooter.
Yeah, they
He
got.
fills that void.
Yeah, I guess. So the Suns got
Mhm.
Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks, and the number 110 overall pick for the draft, and 4 second rounders.
Draft, by the way, tomorrow night, Wednesday
night.
already.
Yeah.
I think that's so weird that the NBA and WNBA finish their
They
seasons, right? And they get
They
right
don't
into the
waste
draft.
any time.
Yeah, they already want to get into the next season. It's crazy.
Jeez.
But yeah, so they got some picks. They got some assets, right?
Yeah.
A 10 this year, a bunch of second-round picks.
Mhm.
Jalen Green is a freak of nature. He's a great athlete. Needs to work on his shooting a little bit. We all know Dylan Brooks,
Oh God.
right? Dylan Brooks can be annoying, but he's a good defensive player. He's good for some three-point shooting. So I think it could work out, both ways. But exciting times in Houston. Very
Yeah.
exciting times. Kevin
I'm
Durant
sure.
is still
Still pretty good.
get a bucket guy.
Yep.
Right? At any time. So what else we got going on?
And for Boston, they
Yep.
traded
Porzingis?
and Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
So
They're
we'll
talking
see.
about dismantling the championship team,
Yeah.
giving a little time to develop before Tatum gets back.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to do?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what. I mean, this coming year is going to be very open. I mean, anybody's going to be able to win the East. Right? You got
The East.
Halliburton's out, Tatum's out, Damian Lillard's out. Who knows where Giannis is going to end up?
I mean, please, Lakers.
Right, Kevin Durant didn't go East, so he stayed in the
Yep.
West. So, speaking of huge news, Lakers,
Oh yeah. Duh.
right?
We didn't even think about that. They got sold for
Fine,
$10
yeah.
billion. The buyer?
$10 billion with a B, right?
Yes.
That's insane. $10 billion.
Billion.
Right? Everybody said the Dallas Cowboys was the most expensive franchise at like $7 billion, maybe $8 billion at the most. But that just goes to show you it's what somebody's willing to pay for, right?
Yeah.
$10 billion. So basically what happened was they sold it for $10 billion, but I believe the amount of money and the percentage of team that he purchased was about $5 billion, I want to say.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
yeah.
Or so anyway, because he's the majority owner.
Right.
Jeannie Buss is still going to be part owner.
They cut it with the governor or something like that.
Yeah. So, but huge news, right? Because he also owns.
The Dodgers.
Right. They've done pretty good since he's
Yes. I mean,
owned those guys.
come on.
Right. He also owns one of the most famous soccer teams in the world, Chelsea.
Chelsea.
So the guy knows what he's doing. It's going to be a huge boost for the Lakers,
Yep,
right?
this is
No more
gonna be-
mom, pa.
Yep.
As much as we love the Buss
This is
family.
gonna be great.
Yep. It's going to be
Yes,
huge.
that's true. I mean, that was a
But
staple. The
yeah.
buses, but
It's
what can
time
you
to
do?
move on.
Hey,
Once Dr.
I'm all
Buss
for
passed,
that.
right? Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all
Yep, they did a good job while they had it. They did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So now it's time to think big, like a big
Yeah,
franchise,
things
not
are
like small
changing.
market. Right, exactly.
Things are changing. So
Absolutely. It's going to be a good thing.
yeah.
So,
Yay.
right? I know.
So on to football.
Right? Some more interesting news about
Of course, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron.
There's always something to say about Aaron Rodgers.
He always weasels his way in.
I
One way or
know,
another,
and
right?
he does say that he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. I guess
Right.
It's news to us. But he was on the Pat McAfee show, and that
his weekly show,
his
right?
weekly
his weekly
show.
stop
Oh my
by.
God. If you don't watch Pat McAfee, it's worth the watch. He's funny.
Yeah, it's a good show. By the way, it's broadcast at like 1,000 decibels.
Yes.
So just remember when it comes on, it's probably gonna blow your eardrums out.
Exactly.
Good
It
show,
is the
though.
weird. I don't know why. Every time it's like,
Give you a
okay,
jolt.
Pat McAfee show's on. He says that he's pretty sure he will retire after this upcoming season. He said I've played 20 years and I've enjoyed it. There's no better way to finish it than with Mike Tomlin and Pittsburgh Steelers. So
Sure.
He says pretty sure. So now,
What the?
are we, is he did this with the Jets, I think. I don't remember. Whatever.
What kills me is when you listen to these other analysts and all these other people like, what if he has this season where they win the AFC championship?
No.
It's not happening. They're not even winning their division. I'd be shocked if they go to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Let alone make a deep run. Anybody watch Aaron Rodgers last year? We watched that guy, right?
Yes. He was not.
When the game.
Coming off an Achilles.
Right.
Though.
It's a good point.
So he could be
right.
Better,
2 years removed.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got better weapons, though.
No.
Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams are pretty good.
They were amazing. But
Breece Hall's a good running back, so now he's going to go. What's the guy's name? Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Great running back. I like him. But they got rid of Najee Harris, the bruiser, the banger. And they also got rid of their big playmaker receiver, George Pickens. Although the rumor is they got rid of him because they didn't think him and Aaron Rodgers would get along.
I know.
So that was also another telling move that once they, made that move that good possibility Aaron's going to come in. Plus they got DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
As a stud. But it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
A lot of people are worrying about Mike Tomlin's, never having a losing season.
Yeah.
That could potentially be up in the air. I
love
now.
Mike Tomlin.
Great
I like
guy.
him.
Yep, excellent coach.
So
excellent coach.
Let's hope they do something. Well, I don't know. This could be, Aaron Rodgers'
final hurrah.
Final hurrah.
But he doesn't want it to be about him.
But yes.
So
says he, wants to be private.
So don't wait till after the season to say,
yeah.
Hey. Oh, and by the way, that's why he said he signed the 1 year deal.
Yeah.
Not because.
That's why.
Not because they would probably only give him a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
But hey, whatever.
Remember, he was the third
option.
Third
choice. Third choice. That's another thing. Like the guy gets there, and then that's put out.
That
in the
comes
media.
out. Oh my God, he's probably no wonder he was like, "That's it. I'm only gonna be with you."
It's gonna be.
Who knows?
It's gonna be must-watch TV.
Definitely must-watch TV.
Too bad Hard Knocks isn't.
I know. We need to watch Hard Knocks. You guys, watch Hard Knocks.
Oh, I saw that. The Quarterback season 2 is coming out July 8th or something like that on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So,
we need to watch that.
Awesome
series. We'll do a review on that.
Yes, great series. Any of the series that Netflix does are great, right?
Yeah.
Full Swing.
Exactly.
Quarterback. So, is there a wide receiver one?
I don't remember. I don't think there's a. Is there a wide receiver?
No, you could be right. I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
Just making it up.
And I think that's it. Do we want to talk about the Cleveland Browns? Do we really? We don't have to. It just had come out because they have like 3 or 4. What do they have? 4 quarterbacks.
Right. Drafted 2.
Yeah, they drafted 2.
Dylan Gabriel and obviously Shedeur Sanders, who got 2 tickets or got pulled over twice
tickets
for a month for speeding over 90. And they got Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. And
mind you, what's his
Deontay.
name? Watson. Remember him? Deshaun Watson. He's out for the season because he has an Achilles. So they really have, that guy in the background. But we won't say anything about him.
One of the wide receivers, Deontay Johnson, seemed to think that they're rolling with Kenny Pickett.
Kenny
Who saw
Pickett.
that?
Did you just say that out loud? Like,
Seriously.
But Kenny Pickett, we shall see. But
right.
But Cleveland Browns.
What do you expect?
Exactly.
Right.
So
it's probably gonna be Flacco. It should be Flacco.
It should be Flacco. Yeah.
He's a veteran. Mm-hmm. He actually does. He plays okay.
Yeah.
And it'll give these guys a good understanding of how to get ready for a game, how to prep, what to look for.
Exactly.
So it'll be a good thing.
Yeah.
And Stefanski's pretty good.
Stefanski's excellent.
Yeah.
What can you do with what you got?
I mean, believe it or not, it'll probably be Shador. As long as he doesn't F it up, right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I mean, the competition's fairly weak.
Yeah, it's not.
So I think he's got a really good chance.
It's not a lot. Yeah. So now
talk time, or what we
this is talk time. Just Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Super Bowl winning.
Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Fine. I like him.
Overall good dude.
He's great.
Yeah.
He wrote a children's book. His first children's book. It's called Better Than a Touchdown. Comes out in March 2026. So keep that in mind. He says, hope it inspires young minds and readers of all ages to believe in themselves and never lose sight of their dreams. Nice. Isn't that cute?
And he's been through it, right? Yeah. He was at Alabama.
Yeah.
In the national title game. Benched for Tua.
Benched. Oh my God.
For Tua, right? Then transfers to Oklahoma and does great. Fights his way into the NFL, and nobody really believes in him. Not enough.
And now look.
Good guy.
He's great.
It's great to hear.
Yep.
Right. Love when these guys are doing stuff outside of the off the field and
helping. Like it's great. It said it's been a dream of his. So
good for him.
Congrats on your first book. Let's talk about Sophie Cunningham. Let me explain. She is in the WNBA. She is a guard for the Indiana Fever.
Who plays on the Indiana Fever with her?
I don't know. Some new girl.
Right?
Her name is Caitlin Clark, I think.
May have heard of her, right?
You may have heard of her. Hello, the biggest star of the WNBA. I know. Some people are like,
in the history already.
Hold your roll, but she is amazing. And she is, this is why we're watching the WNBA, because of Caitlin Clark. Well, she joins Caitlin Clark and she gets into it because Caitlin Clark gets poked in the eye by the guy by JC Sheldon, poked in the eye, and they get in this scuffle. They're playing the Suns, and
I believe it's not the first time she's
always like
it's being dirty.
Yes, they're always messing with Caitlin Clark. Yeah. Well, now that Sophie Cunningham is on the
Fever
on the Fever with her, she says, "I will protect my teammates," and she took that girl down by her head, like basically
threw her down to the ground.
Threw her down to the ground. She did get suspended, and I think she got fined. But let me just tell you, she has now her jersey has sold out, gained nearly 300,000 followers on IG, and jumped from 300,000 to 1.2 million.
300,000 overnight, right?
Yes, 1.2 million followers now on TikTok. This girl.
I don't know if you know, but Sophie Cunningham is also Missouri's youngest black belt at 6 years old in Taekwondo. So she is not to be messed with.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole reason they brought her there was to protect Caitlin Clark, right? And make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw in the WNBA ever. And I would say even in college. You've never had women's college basketball viewership outpacing the men's NBA.
Yeah.
So she's the real deal.
Yep.
She is the real deal. She's going to change that sport. She's
already changing the sport.
The female staff. Yeah, you're right. Good point. She is.
She already is. Great.
And that's the power of Caitlin, right?
Yeah, that's the power of Caitlin. So
because Sophie Cunningham has been in the league. This is her 7th year.
Her 7th year. So, never heard of her.
Right.
Until then, she came on the video. Now she is a superstar.
She is.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You guys should look her up. And last but not least, if you've never heard of this, Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and Greg Olson founded the Tight End University. It was founded in 2021, and it's to create a collaborative. This happens. Sometimes I just get tongue tied. And he's always looking at me like, I'm just gonna let her.
Eventually she'll
get it. It's a collaborative space for NFL tight ends to play and learn from each other, and rookies, current players, retired players are all welcome, and their money's raised through donations. Well, they had their opening night in Nashville,
right?
And Taylor Swift was there. You all know that I'm a Swiftie. So, but I was just excited. Like it's amazing. Like they were there, and it was their opening night. It was fun.
Still together.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's
They're
awesome.
Gonna get married. Anyways,
good.
But yes, they had their opening night, and they were all
talk about perfect tight ends to learn from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Greg Olson, I think, is one of the most underrated tight ends probably in the history of NFL.
George.
And just
not George, Greg Olson.
And just an all-around great guy, right? Funny, got a lot of personality, great on TV. And obviously Kelce, greatest of all time.
Yes.
Potentially, right? A lot of people put him up there. I mean, there's a handful, but
yeah.
And then Kittle. Yeah. Kittle is one of the top 2 in the league. And probably the best blocker of tight ends.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't pay attention to that as much because they're always looking at the catches and the yards and the touchdowns, and which he can do it all. He can do it all. Exactly. So great people to learn from, great organization, and for great causes.
Yeah.
That's,
exactly. Well, that's it for us.
Good stuff. Really, really good stuff.
Right.
And we're just getting started.
We're just getting started, and I mean, we're
heading into the dog days of summer, right? Basketball's over.
That's right.
Football's not ramping up for another month.
And baseball's still going on. I mean, Shohei Ohtani's pitching like one inning at a time. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, having some good games, and they're hanging in there.
Yeah.
So lots to have fun with, lots to watch.
Yes.
And
we're here to give our opinions. Stuff.
Yeah.
Our thing. So, anyways.
Hopefully you'll join us again.
Yes, join us again. And remember, keep it fun when talking about sports. Cheers. Yay. Oh my God. I didn't spill my wine this time.
Oh, bummer.
I know. Right.
Spill my water.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to drive us home.